Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander Tactical with lots of flies around me today, so apologies about all the wafting. Now, it's universally recognised that eye pro is possibly the most important protection that you keep with you whilst you have something that pew-pews within your hand or are around other pew-pews. Unlike your legs and maybe your ears, eyes don't just miraculously grow back. You only have one set of eyes, which is why these are so important. Now, Mechanix have their own range of eye protection that were originally designed for mechanics to make sure that whilst they're working with whatever, I know you work in a shop and you're milling something and stuff's kind of flying back up in your face, but Mechanix products have widely been kind of adopted by the pew-pew community because of how well they work. And a lot of you had been asking about these, so I got in touch with Military First and they were happy to send me a pair. So the box itself is, I mean, it's a box. It gets them to you so that they're nice and safe. It has got a little bit of information on the side about that these are ballistic resistant. They have advanced anti-fogging, the hard shell coating and 99.9% UV protection. Inside the box, now rather than going through this, mainly because it's written in every language that there is on the world, I think the most important bits to kind of take from this are the safety bits that are in here. I'm just going to read this very quickly from here. So it has the ANSI certification. It also has the UKCA protection and whatever the European variant of that is. If you want to have a look into these more, then I definitely recommend checking their website, but these are built to the same protection as far as ballistics and all of that sort of stuff that a lot of safety glasses that are 5, 6, 7 times the value of these. It comes with a drawstring bag, which is also really nice. Always recommend that you keep these as soon as you take it out or as soon as you've finished with them, then you put your glasses back into these. You'll just make sure that they stay protected from whatever else is inside your bag. I will say though that the bag that these come with is actually really nice. You can use this once they're in there to clean off your glasses, which is nice. The drawstring on here is these little kind of tuggly bits, and then you've also got an extra little clip here. So if you have this attached maybe to a rig or something, when you take your glasses, you can put your glasses, if you have a carabiner on here, you can put your glasses directly back into this, which I think is a nice little feature. Now the glasses themselves, as these come out, now I will say these remind me, if any of you are old enough to remember the beginning of the 90s, and well, I suppose the beginning of the 90s, they have a very kind of Oakley's, what they call frog eyes kind of look and feel to them. As far as the top of the frame, it comes right up onto and ever so slightly past your eyebrows, and then the bottom of the lens comes down here and almost just kisses your cheek here at the side. Now the size of my head, I have a reasonably large head. It's a 59 to 56 centimeter head, which I would consider to be large. These are designed for medium to large heads, and I would say that they are just perfect for that. The material that they're made from is very tough, but also you have a lot of elasticity in here. If you're concerned about these being in a bag and stuff is crushing them, obviously try not to crush them too much, but if needs be, you know, there's a lot of play and there's a lot of flex in these to make sure that they will last as long as possible. The arms on these have venting here on the side, which does allow a little bit of heat to come out, but at the end of the day, when one is running around a field sweating one's testicles off, I mean, you're going to sweat at the end of the day anyway, aren't you? But being designed for mechanics that will generally stand next to an engine or a machine to work something, they need to have as much anti-fog for the people that aren't, like ourselves, that like to run up and down and do crazy things with them. So I would say as far as venting on the side, it does an adequate job, but really venting through the side here isn't as important as venting through your face, but it does a good job. They are contoured to the head as well, so although they don't have, I mean, they have a little bit that kind of goes behind your ear. When they're on, they just kind of hug the back of your head. So as far as shaking loose is concerned, you probably would never have to do this much shaking, but well, actually, do you know what, they shook themselves loose and then they kind of pulled themselves back into my head. So I'd never tested them like that before, but if you ever feel a little bit dizzy now, but if you ever had to do that, then they don't come off easily. If you wanted to though, you wanted to get one of those lanyards that kind of sucks onto it and then you can put it behind your head, then you can do that too. To add to the grip, so on the outside you have this hard plastic material, but then on the inside here it's a different, or at least it feels like a different material. It's kind of rubberized, so again, when it's on, they help to hug onto your head to stop them from kind of coming forward just from the force of your head moving forwards and backwards. Other than that, through the inside here, so they're not the type of glasses that has a seal, so these are just a regular glasses. There's no additional seal around the front here or seal around the underside. So as far as allowing air in and out, it's just natural air that passes up and down the front of your face, which is a little bit better than the seals, mainly because it allows just natural air to come in. It does mean, however, that you do sometimes get a little bit of your air moving upwards if you have a balaclava on. If you wear a balaclava as face protection, I'm sure you'll probably understand that sometimes you do get a little bit of misting around the bottom. You do, unfortunately, you do still get a little bit with this, although they've said that they have this amazing anti-fog kind of coating on here. They do fog up a little bit. Now, I might as well touch on the fogging here now. So as far as the fogging is concerned, there's no fogging I get across the top here at all. That's the closest bit that's close to my eyebrow, and I push them in as close as possible to make sure that there are no gaps there that any BBs can get into. The fogging that I do find is just here around these corners, and it may only go in, say, maybe 5 or 6 millimeters into the glass. So my direct line of sight here is excellent, and there's no fogging at all. My peripheral vision, there's no fogging. It's down here into my cheek that I do find I get a little bit of fogging. I will add the caveat, I am a sweaty mother trucker when I'm running around and get hot. I would say I sweat more than the average person. So if you're not a particularly sweaty person, you might find that you don't get any fogging whatsoever. I would like to think that as far as fogging is concerned, I'm the worst case scenario due to the amount that my melon-sized head of water vapor that it produces. So as far as fogging is concerned, there is a little bit of fogging, but it's not as bad as I've found with some others. On the nose, you do have some nose, what do you call these? Cushions, nose cushions here as well. I find that they're great, but what you will find is when you do start to sweat, it almost just feels a little bit slimy because of the sweat that it manages to catch in between your nose and the cushions. But it is what it is. It's not uncomfortable, it's just a bit slimy. I don't know how any other way to say that. Okay, now I did talk about peripheral before, so moving right the way, so I'm kind of looking maybe say 90 degrees to the right, so there's straight ahead, 90 degrees to the right ish. I know we don't have a full 180 degree view. You can see some of the material here, but whilst looking at you now through my periphery, you can't see any of this material here on the side. You can't see any of that frame. The nose here in the middle, looking just kind of 30 degrees to 45 degrees to my left, 45 degrees to my right, you can see it. However, again, looking through directly forward like this, it's just that small blur that you would tend to get with a normal pair of glasses. And again, I would say that it's minimal. Now I have brought some other things with me. Where did I put it? So face protection, a lot of us wear face protection like this, and I will say that with face protection, so I tried to find the biggest, bulkiest face protection that I own just to show you exactly how it fits around face protection. So when this is on, you kind of push it in down around the back, and I will say that it sits reasonably nice against this. The face protection actually rides over the front of the glasses, so when I'm talking and I'm moving around like this, it does just kind of glide over them. It's not actually moving the glasses. So I mean, I'm really exaggerating here why I do this. Only then, when I'm doing huge movements, do the glasses move ever so slightly, but just wearing normal face protection like this is great. If you use any of the, is it MB Tactical, the ghost masks, they work flawlessly, no issues with them whatsoever. Also to show as well, as far as using these with a balaclava, let's just pull this on. They also work really well with a balaclava, which is hopefully as you'd expect. Considering these are designed to be used by mechanics in tool shops and, you know, wherever it is the mechanic might be, they also work very well with these. So wearing it over your balaclava is really nice. It does just pinch kind of by the ear. Now I don't mean pinch as in like a pinch that would actually hurt. I mean that it pinches into the head so that it still sits just roughly over your eyes. Now whilst I'm talking, some of this air has come up here, just at the front here, which actually moving my head now is enough to allow enough air into this so that that fogging has disappeared. But if you're heavy breathing, you will find that you do still get a little bit of fogging moving up into the bottom of the glasses. So that's over your balaclava. If you want to wear these on the inside, you can also wear them on the inside as well, just with a little bit of jostling. And they fit on perfectly as well. What I will say is when you wear them on the inside like this, they do slip then down actually into behind your ears, so you do find that your balaclava then presses onto them, but the width of the arms is maybe say 3mm. After a full day of running around with these on under a balaclava and then having your ears pressed onto these, it's not uncomfortable, which I think that's the most important part, isn't it? It doesn't rub on your ears. You don't get back and think that your ears are particularly sore. I have rather large ears, so they do kind of cut, or at least they do sit over them. I was going to say cut into the sides of my head, but again, not particularly uncomfortable after a full day skirmishing. The last little bit is with a helmet, especially if you have comms on your helmet as well, which I do. So putting these on, they, make sure I've got that right. Yeah, I've got that right. So taking them on and off is relatively simple. This feels really weird because I can't hear myself talking because of the ear pro. But these, they do fit and they do slip in really well. So you do have to push them past your ear pro to make sure that they can get in. These are the Ear Pro, and I will say that they are excellent, by the way. So that they're in there. Now, similar to where I'm wearing the balaclava, if I'm shouting, I do apologise because I can't hear my own voice, which is really weird. So similar to how you would wear them with the balaclava, if this was the side of my head, they pass through here so that you do get them sitting between the side of your head and your ear. The pressure of the Ear Pro forcing them on there just sandwiches them and they sit perfectly. Because it's only about 3mm, it doesn't feel like it's pushing them against the ear, against the arms of the glasses. And again, getting back to similar to the balaclava, after a full day wearing a setup like this, It's not uncomfortable, and I don't get any kind of pain or any hot spots on either on the side of my head or the ears or my ears that go over the arms, so which is great. Whilst wearing them with a helmet though, hopefully you'll be able to see that there is clearance between the front of the helmet and the glasses as well, which allows for some air to be able to get into these. But what it also means is when your helmet is moving around and you're jostling or you're doing whatever it is that you need to do, your helmet doesn't come into contact with the glasses, which move these around, which may then move them further away from your eyes so that debris and shit can get underneath these. Especially within airsoft, you then might potentially get a BB underneath them, which I will say, as far as clearance, and I can hear myself now, when you have these on, if you're concerned about BBs themselves, through the top here, I'm just going to put my head forward, so naturally how this conforms to my face, across the top of the eyebrows here there's maybe say 2, maybe 3 millimeters. Here at this widest part I can just get the tip of my finger through there, so it's maybe 4, maybe 5 millimeters. Across the bottom is where the largest gap is, so from my nose out into my cheek, that's the largest gap, and that again is probably just the tip, maybe 3 or 4 millimeters. As it gets out to the pads on my cheek here, it gets a lot smaller. Through the sides, you definitely can't get any BBs in here. A BB travelling in from this angle, just at the right speed, just at the right angle, may potentially get in. However, I will say, unless you're wearing a full goggle that has those cups across the top and the bottom, these are no different to any other eye protection that I've tried that are just glasses style protection. They afford you the same protection from the top and the bottom that all of them do, that don't necessarily touch your face. The fact of being getting shot at these kind of strange acute angles, the fact that it would probably hit eye pro, it would probably hit something else instead, mitigates some of those risks, but it would be wrong to say that they weren't perfect enough that something could get down here. Hopefully, if it did get through there, because it's maybe say a 4 or 5 millimeter gap and it's had to force itself through, that should reduce the speed of any projectile coming through there, and hopefully it would ricochet before it got into your eye. But you know, it would be negligent of me not to make sure I pointed out some of those gaps around there, but I definitely wouldn't say that they were more than 6 millimeters in total. So there you go. As far as Mechanix Eye Pro are concerned, I've been very happy with these. They work very well, they fit very well. They do fog up a little bit. I was trying to do a Trump impression then, but I can't do a Trump impression. So you do get a little bit round the bottom here, but as I've mentioned, I am very sweaty, and things, even though they say that they don't fog, for me do fog a little bit, and I would say as far as compared to others, these fog less than some other similar glasses do. So yeah, all in all, a nice pair of Eye Pro, and especially with the little pouch that you get with these. And I know most companies give you a little pouch that you can put your Eye Pro into, but I would definitely say that the Eye Pro pouch that you get with, why am I struggling to, I know I'm struggling because I'm trying to do this on camera, and when you try and do something on camera then you're always going to struggle, but yes, I will say that the Eye Pro pouch that this comes with is actually really nicer than a lot of other pairs of Eye Pro that I've tested in the past that are, you know, you pay 3 or 4 times the amount that you will get with these. So yeah, there you go. Now, I want to say a huge thank you again to Military First. Military First did send these to me. I've worked with them now for about 5 or 6 years. I have a great relationship with them. If I didn't like these, I'd probably just send them back to them. I do have a discount code for Military First. If you use the code Moorlander 10, it will get you 10% off non-sales items. Now, it's important that I stress that, but it's only non-sales items. It's not an extra 10% if there's already, say, 30% off. But hopefully should save you some money in the long run either way. So yes, I'll leave some of their links below. I'll leave some of my social media links here on Moorlander Tactical and my sister channel Moorlander EDC. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander and stay tactical. Today to look at is the iPro from, it's from Mechanix, and it is the, always make sure that I have some of these with me. Now some of freaking frick my tit, shit, bollocks, twat, bastard. Oh, I'm still recording. Hi. This is going out on Friday. Tactical Friday. Yeah, hope you all had a good week. And I will, yeah, see you soon.